Hello friends, I am happy to see you again for the new lecture series on optics and spectroscopy. In today's lecture, we will see some of the basic terms, terminologies and notations that we are going to use in the coming lectures. So we will start by knowing basic terms and we will slowly build up the concepts given in the syllabus. Come on. Course which consisting of optics and spectroscopy. So let us start with optics. So to deal the theory of optics, we need to know certain basic concepts. Generally, these concepts that we have already aware during our higher secondary course. Anyway, let me recollect some of the terms. First thing, in order to study the subject optics, we consider light as a ray. Generally, it is called ray optics. Why? Because the theory of optics was developed even before the concept of quantum mechanics, the concept of wave nature of a light. Light that would behave like a particle as well as wave. It is called wave particle duality. That is comes into picture when the quantum mechanics theory was generated or developed. But optics was developed even before that. And of course, this concept of ray, that is light can travel in straight line path, that is used to develop the wide number of concepts in optics. Here in this, we are using ray optics, that is light ray travel in straight line. So with that, let me introduce what is object. There are two terms involved in optics. One is object, other one is image. So what is object? See, I am an object. Assume that I am standing in front of a mirror with a comb to make a hairstyle. Assume like that. Assume that situation. Now I am the object, and what I am observing in the mirror is image. Right? This is everybody understood. But formally, what is object? Object, it is nothing but anything from which light ray can originate, light ray can radiate, right? So object, it is anything from which light ray can radiate. Here, this light ray can emit from that object itself, or it can be reflected from it. Okay. So, the light ray can be emitted from the object or can be reflected from the object. There are two possibilities. So what is object? Object is anything from which light ray can be radiated. And this, we will come to image little later. This object can be a point object or extended object. It is a point object or extended object. Point means a dot, right? It does not have any physical form. It does not have any physical form. While extended object, that would have some physical form. It would have some physical form. So extended object have some physical form. Right. Fine. So these are something little bit about object. What is image? Image, it is nothing but when a light ray, it is proceeding from an object and it is reflected back from a mirror, then it converges to a point, or it is diverges, appear to be diverged from a point, right? The light ray which is proceeding from a point, that is, which is coming from a point, and it gets reflected from a mirror, and it is converts to a particular point, or it is observed, appeared to diverge from a point. Okay, that point, right, it gives an impression that the object is to be appeared there. That is, for example, again come to the example that I have noted in the beginning, that I am standing in front of a mirror for hairstyling with a comb. Now, the light ray coming from me, it strikes the mirror and it is reflected back. Now, what is that? I am originally standing in front of the mirror, but what appears? It appears that I am standing inside the mirror. When you look into the mirror, it likes that I am standing inside the mirror, right? So the image appears from a false position. An object is located in a particular position. This image which is appeared that this object is located from somewhere. Okay, that is, image is an apparent object that is observed by the observer, that is visible by the observer. Image is whatever observed by the observer in the mirror, that is the image of the original object. Okay, so image, right, image, it is nothing but an apparent object, as seen by the observer, right? It could be a real image or it could be a virtual image. It could be a virtual image. If it is a real image, it can be recorded using a photographic film, recorded using a digital video camera, like that. It could be recorded and you can reproduce the image if it is a real image. If it is a virtual image, not able to record. Virtual image is not able to record. In optics, we generally deal with object. Usually we consider point object and the position of image. These are the two things that we frequently going to use in optics. Well, let's see image of a point object. Image of a point object. Where an image would appear for a point object. Image formation by a mirror, it purely based on law of reflection. It purely based on law of reflection. In order to understand that, let's draw a mirror and let's denote this mirror as M and N, right? Or let's simply say the mirror M. And this is, you can say that this is the central axis or a perpendicular line in the middle of the mirror. Let's denote this as N. Now assume that there is a point object which we denote O, right? It is an object, point object, this one located here. Now a light ray emerged from this point object may travel parallel to this line, that is perpendicular to the plane of the mirror, and it strikes the mirror at point A, and it strikes the mirror at point A and it reflects back, then it reaches the point object O again. This is one possibility. And another possibility, the light ray would travel at an angle I to this plane, right? So assume that this is a line and there is a plane here. You can assume in the perpendicular to the direction of the mirror, and this light ray travels in this direction with an angle I, and it reflects back and it is observed here in the human eye. It is observed here in the human eye, right? So this is R, and it is angle of incidence, and R is angle of reflection. Angle of incidence I, angle of reflection R, right? Now let this distance, that is distance from the mirror to the object, as U. Let's denote this as U. Now extend this point, extend the reflected light ray in the back side, and again extend this line to the back side. It meet at a point. Let us denote this point as I. Now for this I, this object originally be located at the point O, which is located U distance left to the mirror, now appears to it is located at the point I within the mirror. So this is the image, and this image is a virtual image. Okay, and see this triangle OA, let's denote this point as B. So that triangle OAB and this triangle IAB, so this triangle IAB, these are said to be congruent triangles. Congruent triangle. What does it mean? For a congruent triangle, all three sides are equal, all three angles are equal, which means this OA, OB, AB are equal, and IA, IB and AB are equal. If this is the case, then you can put the distance from the point A to I as V. Okay, this is, let's denote the image which is located at I having a distance v from the mirror m. Now you can say that u which is equal to v, but u is located left to the mirror while v is the u is measured towards left from the mirror while the v is measured from right from the mirror, so that you can put a sign minus that indicates it is in the opposite direction, right? So u is the object distance, v is the image distance. So this is how an image can be formed, a point image, point object and its image can be interpreted, right? And let's see some of the basic terms that is used in optics, like center of curvature, vertex, radius of curvature, principal axis, principal focus, etc. Basic terms, some of the basic terms used in optics, right? And before going to discuss these terms, let's mention two mirrors, two types of mirrors. One is concave mirror, right? Plane mirror that we used to see that's we are using for domestic purposes are plane mirrors, like the one which are using for hairstyling or dressing, the mirror that is used in wardrobes, that are plane mirrors. It's a plane, it's a mirror where a silver coating is made in the back side of the glass, right? There are other two mirrors which are concave mirror and convex mirror. How would I remember which one is concave and which one is convex? The word cave. Let's remember the word cave. Cave means going into some hollow area, the dark hollow area, like, right? So going in, right? It is going in that way. You can remember that a mirror and which is curved forward and you could going in, right? This is concave mirror. It's like you are going in. If this is plane for a mirror, then it is curved forward, which means there is a gave. This portion is a gave and you are going in. Like that you can remember, right? So this is concave mirror and back side it is polished. And convex mirror, it is bulged. It is bulged front, it is bulged back. So this is convex mirror and it is back side is polished. This is convex mirror and this is concave mirror. Now let us consider two such things. Let us draw a concave mirror. Let's draw a concave mirror. And it is polished outside. See, if you extend this curvature portion of the mirror into a sphere, this would be the center C, and you could measure the distance from the center to the extrema is the distance that is called radius R, and we can denote this curvature extremas as Mn, okay, and an axis which is passing through the center. You can draw an axis which is passing through a center that would meet this curvature at a point P. Okay, so this we denote as axis, and the outer portion is silvered. Outer portion is silvered, and P, this point, and this is called aperture. Which one? This one. This portion is Mn distance is called aperture. And light ray that is coming from this side. Light ray coming from left to right. Incident rays that comes from left to right. Now let's define what is center of curvature. It is denoted by C. C, center of curvature is the point about which a sphere is to be formed, in which this mirror is a small segment, right? It's like, let us consider a cricket ball, and the middle center point is C is called center of curvature, and if you cut off a small portion, or it's like consider an orange, and the middle point is center of curvature, and if you cut off a small portion, and that cut off portion, the small segment, that is right called mirror, that we consider as a mirror, right? But the point, if you extend the small segment of the mirror into a sphere, then the center point is called radius of curvature. It is denoted by C. Vertex or pole. Vertex or pole, it is denoted by capital P. That is nothing but this small segment is called mirror, this small segment is polished. In the small segment, the center middle point is called vertex. The center middle point is called vertex. The similar thing is also true for, this is for concave mirror. The similar thing is true for convex mirror as well, right? If you extend this, this is center of curvature C, and this side is polished, it is silvering, and this is M, this is N, this point is P, and this point to here it is radius R, and this is axis. Okay, in this the incident rays are coming from this side, so these are incident rays. This is convex mirror. Okay, in both cases the center of curvature can be denoted here, and it is here, and vertex is the midpoint of the mirror. And third point, radius of the curvature. radius of the curvature, it is denoted by R. See, we said in the beginning, mirror is a small segment of an extended sphere at which the center is center of curvature, right? Now, from the center of curvature to the outer portion of the sphere, the distance is called radius of curvature, or then 4. Principal axis. Principal axis is nothing but an axis which is passing through the center of curvature and vertex or pole. A line passing through center of curvature and pole. A line passing through center of curvature and pole, that is nothing but principal axis. And then principal focus. It is denoted by F, principal focus, right? You can say principal focus for concave mirror and for convex mirror. Principal focus for concave mirror and convex mirror. Both will be different, right? Suppose if a light ray comes parallel to the principal axis, it strikes the mirror, then it will converge to a particular point, right? Similarly, if a light ray comes parallel to the principal axis, then it would converge to a particular point. That point, converging point, is said to be, right, principal focus. And this is for concave mirror. If it is a, let me draw a separate diagram. Assume that this is a vertex P and this is principal axis. Assume that the light ray which is coming parallel to this principal axis will converge to a particular point, right? If suppose this is C and this point is said to be principal focus. And similar way, if suppose there is a convex mirror and this is the principal axis, I now assume that a light ray coming from the principal focus, and if it hits the mirror, then it is start to travel parallel to the principal axis. Assume that a light ray comes from the back side of the mirror. Sorry, it is polished inside. Right here also, I'm sorry, this would be polished inside. I made a mistake. It should be polished inside. Then only it will form a convex mirror. Otherwise, it should be concave this side if it is polished outside. This configuration is the one which is correct. Here it is polished outside. I'm sorry for the mistake in the diagram. Okay, fine. So assume that there is a point beyond the convex lens from which the light comes out, it diverges out, and if this is the principal focus for this convex lens, then this light ray starts to travel parallel to the principal focus, right? These points are called principal focus. Generally, principal focus is nothing but the half the value of the radius of curvature, right? Half the value of half the distance from the radius of curvature, right? 6. Focal plane. Focal plane is nothing but a plane at the focal point and perpendicular to the focal principal axis. A plane which is located at the focal point and it is perpendicular to the focal axis. I'm sorry, principal axis. It is perpendicular to the principal axis. That is focal plane. And then 7. Focal length. Focal length is denoted by F. You know, I said this focal point or principal focus, that will be half the distance of radius of curvature, so that it is nothing but 1 by r. It will be located, so if this is C and this distance is r and this distance will be F, that is nothing but 1 by r. Sorry, not 1 by r by 2, half the distance. It is half the distance, r by 2. Okay. Then what is the power of the mirror? Power is nothing but reciprocal of the focal length. Power is nothing but reciprocal of the focal length, inverse of the focal length. So that is nothing but 2 by r, where r is the radius of curvature. Then the last one, 9, is aperture. What is aperture? Aperture is nothing but, you see, if this is a concave mirror, and you know, so this point Mn, so it has a top plane. It's like there is a sphere, and if you cut off and there is a flat area in the cut off curve, right? This curve region, in this top, there is a top plane. When you cut off, right, if you form, it will form a big sphere, then it is a small segment, this cut off region, this segment is aperture, right? This cutted region is aperture, right? This diameter Mn of small segment of the entire mirror, this is a small segment of the extended sphere, and this is a outline. Mn is the diameter of the outline of the mirror, that is called aperture. Or you can say that unobstructed surface area of the mirror is also called aperture. This is available for reflection. This room is available for reflection. See, it is measured in terms of an angle theta, right? It is measured from the point center of curvature to the extremities of the small segment. So this theta, that tells us the aperture angle. It is called aperture angle, right? And this is the area which is available for light reflection, or this is the area available for the light to be received. Based on this theta, or based on the area of the surface area of the aperture, we can explain light gathering capacity of the mirror. Light gathering capacity of the mirror. So these are about the basic terms. We have introduced what is concave mirror and what is convex mirror, and how to draw that and how to remember that. Then the basic terms like center of curvature, vertex, radius of the curvature, principal axis, principal focus, focal plane, focal length, power, and aperture. Keep remembering all these points which we will use in the subsequent lectures. And the next important one is sign. Plus or minus sign for the different notations that we are using in the optics. That is also very important. Let's see that. Sign conversion. Sign conversion. In different textbooks, different sign conversion methods are to be used, and we are following Brijlal Subramaniam authored textbook where they have used Cartesian sign conversion. So let us consider the principal axis and the point vertex, and this is the plane associated to the vertex point, right? This is principal axis. Now what are the point we are assuming? Light rays are traveling from left to right. One thing. Another thing, the distances are measured by taking the point vertex P as origin. Okay, and third one, distances in the direction of incident light. Light is coming from this direction, right? The distances measured in the direction of incident light, that is, this is the origin. If we measured some distance from this point to somewhere in the right side, it is said to be positive, right? In the direction of incident light are positive. In the direction opposite to that of incident light are negative. Okay, simply all quantities measured right to the plane P are positive, right to the point P are positive, measured in the left to the point P are negative. Whatever the term U, V, F or whatever you are measuring, it is negative if you are measuring it in the left side of the point P. Suppose if you are measuring the same thing in the right side of the point P, then it is positive. And then if you are measuring some heights above the principal axis, that are positive. If you are measuring height below the principal axis, that is negative. And if you are measuring some angles, like this or an angle like this, if you are measuring an angle in the clockwise direction, angles in the clockwise direction are negative, anti-clockwise direction are positive. Anti-clockwise direction are positive, right? So these are the basic sign convention that is used in optics, used in our lectures in the coming series. With this, let me stop this lecture, and we will resume back in the next lecture. Thank you.